All right, guys, check it out. We got Marcus in the chair. He wants a little taper today. I'm gonna show you guys how to stack guards, which means we're gonna go from a large guard down to a shorter guard to do our taper. And the reason we wanna do that is if we just start tapering and we keep working our way up, we'll get up into this hair so much that we're gonna have to cut all this hair back here. So he really likes the fullness on the sides. We just wanna taper into it. So we're just gonna stack guards from here down and then come in and do our taper. So I'm gonna start off with a number 4, guys. I'm just gonna basically flick out into, I say flick out, I'm just letting it feed up into the length that we have. So I'm coming in, I'm cutting basically all of this down to a 4, making sure that it's a 4 so I can cut into it. But I'm kind of letting the clipper feed out into the hair above it. So if we need to go up another guard, we can. We're just trying to make sure that this panel is a 4, and then we know we can taper into a 4. So now everything underneath, I can just come in, cut down to a 4, and we can work our way down. So stacking guards, guys, means we're going right underneath where we just were with the next guard. So kind of stacking them all within one small area to go from a longer length to a shorter length. And it's just gonna help us get a skin taper in the bottom without taking it too high. So that's a 3, we're connected to the 4, and now we have a panel that's a 3 on the sides. We'll just continue to work our way down. Now guys, most of these guards I'm using are closed. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to a 2 open, just kind of for some safety, just because we're kind of getting finished with it. And the last thing I wanna do is go up in here and kind of put a gap into it where I have to kind of touch everything up. So the 2 is open, I'm gonna flick up into the 3, and then I can close it, come below that, and you guys see we have a nice, clean, consistent panel for us to taper into. Everything from here up is connected in, and we didn't cause a whole lot of trouble, and now we can come in and do a skin taper underneath without running the risk of cutting into all this hair on the sides. That's the main thing, guys. A lot of you guys, especially when you're newer, I remember in barber school trying to do a taper and I would end up here and like just really botch the whole haircut. This is gonna basically set it up for you to do your taper without running the risk of cutting into that hair too much. And if you guys ask me the difference in a taper and a taper fade, I would consider this a taper because we're just tapering into what he has. And a taper fade, we're gonna take each step around. So we would get into this behind the ear a little bit more. Now I'm coming in with the shaver, guys. Same steps as always. We'll just start with the shaver at the bottom. Next up, guys, lever all the way open. You guys know I like to use my taper blade, give myself a little bit more room. Now we'll come in with the boosted all the way closed. We're just gonna barely bump that line up. And we'll open it up a little bit further, go above that, and we should be done with our open section. We started with the lever all the way open. If we need to open it up here, we can. Now we can just play with the lever and make sure we have that transition where we want it before we move on. Now remember, guys, it is a 2 up above here, so our next 2 guards are gonna connect all this together. Now we're gonna come in with the open 1, and guys, this is such a tight, compact taper. I'm really coming in and flicking out, so my motion is kind of looking like this. I'm just doing it really slow though, or not really slow, really kind of fast, and you can't see it as much. I'm just kind of protecting that hair. Like I said, I want to make sure that we leave it where we want it. He doesn't want to, I won't say any names, but Marcus got a haircut one time at a show, and they cut all this off, and he basically had so much hair on top that it looked like a faux hawk. I don't know, it was bad, but he really likes, just like me, we kind of like this fullness on the side. We just want to make sure we maintain that here, and that's why we stack the guards to begin with, to make sure that we're playing it safe and not taking off more hair than we want. So I'm going to work my way up, guys, and then we'll work our way back down. Now, I was just in there with a 2, but just to play it safe, I'm going to go through this line with a 2, make sure that everything's cut down. I don't really hear it cutting, so this is just kind of for safety to make sure that it's a 2. And then the last thing we'll have to use here is a 1.5, and it should tie all this together. All right, guys, now we're in with a 1.5 half open. If you guys see, I do have my second hand over here kind of assisting. I just want some control over these clippers. So the last thing I want to do is, you know, go up and make a lick in there that I don't like. That's going to cause me to redo all this length on the side. And I know Marcus likes that length. I just want to be careful. So that second hand is just giving me a little bit of a safety net, a little bit more stability than normal. You guys see, we're kind of connected up. I may have to clean that up a little bit. There's still a little bit of a line. And for that, we can use like a thinning shear or something like that. Again, just to make sure that we conserve the length where we want it. So I'm going to go ahead and line it up so that we can really see what we're working with, and then we'll come in and polish it up. So I'm looking at the first point that his hair is full. Come right here and start our C-cup, work back towards the taper, and we'll start to round in, taking off as little as possible, but getting him a nice sharp C-cup. And this will be a lesson for you guys. A lot of times you're in the middle of doing a taper, it may look like crap. Again, I won't mention any names, but there are even some barbers on YouTube and on Instagram that I see that in the middle of the taper, it honestly doesn't look that good, but they'll throw a sharp line on it and it will absolutely change how that taper looks. So you guys see, now that we have it lined up, it's just about a presentable taper. So I'm gonna come in now, just fine tune it back with the same guards, start with a 2. I'm just making sure that we don't have any lines here. But you guys should be able to see we were able to stack those guards, keep the length where he wants it. We'll do the same thing on the other side, same thing in the back, and just kind of leave him. He's like me. We kind of like our hair grown out after a couple weeks more than when it's freshly cut. So really a grown out haircut with a taper is kind of what we like to rock. So you guys know you get fades and stuff. It looks good for a minute, but it kind of goes away quick. So this is a lot more able to keep this a lot more consistent, kind of have a consistent look all the time. And so we've been rocking the tapers, taking a little bit off and kind of blending up into it. So I'm gonna call that done, guys. We'll go ahead and do the other side and then do the back. If you guys want to watch the rest of the video, don't go anywhere. Guys, that is it for the cut. A little bit difficult guy here. He's a difficult canvas. If you guys want to see more detailed taper on that back of his neck, you could tell I was struggling with it. I definitely got a couple videos on that, but guys, this is how you stack guards to maintain all this length up here. I hope it made sense for you guys. If you liked it, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe. I got 3 or 4 tutorials in the bag. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think, how we did on this cut, and I will catch you guys next time.